Hey guys, welcome back to No Catchy Name. It's me, Ella. Today I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to make this cute pearl slip stitch in the crochet popsicle holder or ice pop, whatever people call these. We call these popsicles here, and I know a lot of people call them other different things. I think they're called freezy pops, ice pops, popsicles, whatever. Anyways, this is just a quick tutorial. It will be working in the round starting from a chain. And this is cotton yarn, and I'll be using cotton yarn today. It's a number 4 worsted weight, but you can really use any kind of yarn because it's not really meant to be absorbent. It's just to keep little hands warmer instead of touching the cold, frozen bit. It just keeps the hands warmer. It's okay if it drips, I think. I wouldn't even mind it being drippy. But most kids will eat the popsicle before it gets to where it's drippy. But, alright, so let's go into it. Today I'm going to be using some worsted weight cotton. I'm not exactly sure what this is. It's a scrap ball. And then I'm going to be using a H hook, which is a 5mm hook. You also need a needle for weaving in your end, and some scissors, and a popsicle. Alright, so let's get into it. So first we're going to start with a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 11. Now this may appear big, but the purl slip stitch is a tight stitch, and it also kind of pulls in, so I think it makes a good size once the product is finished. So first we're going to be working down the chain, and then we're going to be working back up the other side. So on your chain 11, you skip the first chain, and you go into the second chain and single crochet. And then we'll single crochet all the way down the chain, so you should end up with 10 single crochets. Alright, there's my 10 single crochets, and now we're going to be going around to the back part. So all you gotta do is just kind of turn your work a little bit. Your first stitch goes into this one that you just worked in, and then you're going to do 10 more. So here's one that kind of turns you around there, and then you work into the leftover chains from your starting chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should give you 20 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So then you're going to start your repeat for the purl slip stitch right here. If you don't know how to do that stitch, I'll leave a video tutorial I made down below in the description box. But it's basically, you do one whole round of slip stitching in the back loop only, and then the next round you do in the front loop only. And those two rows together make the purl slip stitch. And then you just keep repeating one round of back loop only slip stitch, one round of front loop only slip stitch, until it's the height that you want. And that's my case here. So all you gotta do is, we're gonna start here. You can use a stitch marker if you want, but I usually just count the whole time. But, so go into the back loop only and slip stitch. Try to keep your slip stitches kind of loose. What I do is I kind of pull it up a little when I pull it through, and then you go through the loop without yarning over. So that's my first back loop stitch, slip stitch. So now I'm going to go into the second back loop here. So here's the V of the stitch. We're going into this back one. Try to kind of keep it loose. So there's 2. So I'm going to go through the rest of the next 18 back loop only slip stitching. Alright, so now we made it around to our first stitch. Again, like I said, you could use a stitch marker if you want to. I just count as I go. So now I'm going to pull up some yarn so I don't mess up my thing. I'm going to take this time to weave in my tail here. You could have crocheted over it if you're the kind of person who does that. I always feel better about it being woven in. So I'm going to weave this in real quick. This isn't the best needle. This is just one I grabbed. This isn't my favorite needle. My favorite one's real pointy at the end, like a sewing needle. And I feel like it gets through stitches a little bit better. So I always go up one way, then I go back. Alright, now that my end is woven in, I know this is kind of loose, but I mean it's a popsicle thing. If you want to use a smaller hook, you can, but it'll make the slip stitches a little tight. I guess you could have used a smaller hook the first row, and then a bigger hook for the slip stitches, but you know, it's up to you. It's just a popsicle cozy, it's not that deep. Okay, so now we did a row of slip stitch in the back loop only. Here's the leftover front loop so you can see. Now this next row is going to be slip stitch in the front loop only. So here's our first one. Gotta go in. Try to keep it loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get me some more yarn pulled up here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I'm gonna say, oh no, that was out of focus. I hope that wasn't. Let me go check and see if that was out of focus the whole time. Okay, it was not out of focus. Now right here, you can see this stitch is kind of off from the center. Again, because this is Popsicle Cozy, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to try to keep your jog in the middle, you can always slip stitch an extra stitch over. Like right there. Just try to keep it in the middle. You can do that because it's crochet and you can do that in crochet. Anyways, that was the first repeat. So we did our chain, our first row of single crochet, and then we did a row of slip stitching in the back loop only, and then we just did slip stitch in the front loop only. So now we're going to repeat these last 2 rounds for as long as we want the cozy to be high. So I think I did it for 8 repeats. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one here on the video just so you can see the repeat, and then do the rest off the video and come back and show it to you then, okay? So this next row is going to be back loop only, slip stitching. So here's our first stitch. The back loop is this one. So go into your back loop loosely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oops, that's the only thing I don't like about cotton yarn. Kitchen cotton yarn, it's kind of splitty. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Again, that's kind of off to the side, so I do like one more to kind of get it closer to the edge. Alright, so there's what we're looking like so far. And then on the inside, there's different textures. I think it just depends on which one you want facing out. Okay, so the next row is going to be front loop only, slip stitching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, now this way right here with the ridges of the front loops, this is technically the inside of the stitch. So if you want to, you can turn your project like that. And this right here is the actual purl slip stitch. It kind of resembles the purl stitch in knitting, is why it's called that, and it is pretty. I do like the texture. But this is a reversible pattern, so you can have this side sticking out, pointing out, whatever you want to call it, or the line side. It's really personal preference. I think this stitch would be good to use for things that you want to hook things to, like if you wanted to make a stitch marker holder or like a needle holder, this would be good for it. And that's good about these popsicle cozies is because you can have either side facing out. So like if you throw them in the washer, which is good about cotton, you can wash them and dry them, and then it doesn't really matter which side they end up on because they still will look cute and be functional. So now this is 2 repeats of this, so minus this bottom. This right here is the single crochet round. So this is 2 repeats of the purl slip stitch. So you know, it'll be 4, 6, 8. It will be approximately like that high. And then you can make it obviously as short or tall as you want. A good, you know, kid hand size is a good way to go for popsicle cozies. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat it, I think 6 more times, and we'll see how that comes out. And then I will come back and show you the size of it once I get there. Okay, up to this point, I just finished 7 repeats. You can count them by this front loop. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I just did a row of front loop only slip stitch. So now I'm going to do 1 more row of back loop only to finish this off, and then I'll turn it the right side out for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and some of my stitches are a little tight, 20, and then I just kind of slip stitch a regular slip stitch to close it off if I can get in that stitch. I made it a little too tight. Oh heavens, come on. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up and snip the end. And then I'll weave this in here in just a second. Pull that through. Alright, so this is technically the inside of the stitch, but I do like this effect too. This ridged effect is just really pretty. So technically though, the outside of the purl slip stitch is, turn this around. It does have a knit look to it, I think. This bottom part flares out a little, but that's alright. It won't look like that once you put it on a popsicle. This is also a really pretty stitch, I think. It looks so nice. But anyways, let me grab some more popsicles and I will show you my finished popsicle cozies or cozies. I gotta weave that in. Here is my 3 popsicle cozies. This is the one we just made. This is with the purl slip stitch facing out. So I like this texture. And this is the other one that I made in cotton with the inside part sticking out. I actually think I like this part better. What do you guys think? I think I like this stitch better. And this one is one I made with acrylic yarn, with the outside stitch facing out. This one is also smaller. I think I only chained 8. This is a good thing too to mention. This is chain 8, chain 10, chain 10. You can alter the beginning chain size depending on the size of your popsicle. These ones are pretty small, and I know some of them are like round in the plastic tubes. So you might have to make a larger beginning chain. But I mean, it's a super easy pattern to alter to the size of your popsicle. And yeah, so, and I think acrylic works fine for these because again, they're not meant to be absorbent. They're just meant to keep fingers, warmer while eating a popsicle. And I mean, it's only going to take kids a few minutes to eat these popsicles, so it doesn't really matter if it's cotton or acrylic. I know cotton is more absorbent, but it's not really, you know, the only bit that's going to be coming off this is the little bit of condensation or whatever from where it's melting. But that's not enough to like be a bothersome drippy wet thing. But anyways, here are my popsicle koozies. Quick and easy little pattern, and yeah, I still think I like this look better than this one in this particular pattern. I think this would be, you know, it's handy for different patterns. But anyways, if you need help with the stitch, I'll leave, like I said, the tutorial that I filmed for the Purl slip stitch in the description below. And yeah, if you make any of these koozies, I would love to see them. Feel free to share pictures with me through my email, through my Facebook, or through my Instagram. All of those are linked below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's kind of a little finicky. But I know these will get a lot of use here because my kids both love these popsicles, and my husband too. So these will get a lot of use here, and I think they'll like them. I don't know. They probably won't care. They usually just put like a hand towel wrapped around their popsicles. But I will have them for just in case. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye, guys.